Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Woodshop. It's been some time since I've done a video, and hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things. Happy New Year to everybody. It's 2014, and I want to thank you for joining me again here on the Carver's Woodshop. I reside in Honeybrook, PA. I have my studio out here if you're not familiar with my shop or what I do, and this is one of the videos, one of the carvings I'm going to be doing today is a sitting fireman. This is the same block that we used for the holiday bear, and I thought it would be neat to do something with him sitting, and this is still in the final stages of being done. He's holding an axe, as you can see, and he's got his little hat on here. So I think I'll go ahead and show you how to do one of these. It's been, like I said, it's been a while since I've done anything. But let's get the measurements on it first. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure, I believe it's 3, the block itself is 1.5 by 1.5 by 3 1/4. Okay, that's the original block you need. And then about 2 inches from the top, you're going to mark it, and you're going to put the cone at the top exactly 1 inch and 3/8 by 1 inch and 3/8. Okay, so once you have that cut out, we can go ahead and take our little pencil here. Hang on just a second, and we're going to go ahead and start marking. His hat is tilted backwards, and we're going to do it out of the corner, so you're going to pick out the corner that looks half decent to you. So of course we're going to put his shoes right in the front here. I'm going to try to mark those off a little bit here, and I do a lot of measuring with my finger, and that will give it the same height and the same depth, again the width of it, and we're just going to kind of bring this down and around like so. Alright, just to give us an idea where the shoes are going to be. Alright, the hat itself, if you want to measure it, it's about, let's see how far that is. We can do some measurements on this. It's just about 3/4 of an inch down. So about 3/4 of an inch down, we're going to, I'm going to put my finger there so I know roughly where. This is going to be the top part, bottom part of the hat. Okay, and then it's going to drape downward. You know, it's going to come down to an angle. Remember, this is the front. So how far down do we go? Well, that's interesting. We can go down here from the bottom and kind of mark it off, kind of where it is. I can kind of remember where that is, right there. See if that's right. Yeah, pretty close. Maybe a little further down. Let's see. That might work a little better. It's a little further down than that. And let's take a measurement so we can give you an idea how far in the back it's got to go. It's about an extra half an inch down, so it's about 3 inch and 1/4 down. And then on the sides, well, let's see. On the sides, it's going to be roughly kind of midway between the two, so we're going to kind of mark that off right there, and I'm going to measure that so it's the same on both sides, hopefully. And so we're going to bring this down, just bring this down to, that goes down a little further. Let's see if we can do the same thing here, just kind of bring the lines up together. Alright, that's the best way to do it. That should be about the same on either side. Alright, now, as you know, we need to take the top part of the hat out a little bit, right? So, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to put, we're going to kind of, I do this just as a reference point here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and we're going to go in the front. Make sure you have your glove and your thumb guard on. We're going to just notch it out there, just to know exactly where the hat's going to go here. I'm using a Murphy knife, if you're wondering, and I have it wrapped with, so it's not so slippery, but a Murphy knife is very commonly used among wood carvers. I really use any knife that's the sharpest at the time. That's kind of a joke, but it's not a joke. I have a bunch of different knives. I have a Tom Ellis knife, I have a Rough Rider knives, and I switch them around. I don't stick with one all the time. Now we're going to go down this way, right? So we're going to match this up. We're going to kind of bring this across. Just be careful, you know, when you score that. Put your stop cut. Now stop cut is simply where you want that to stop. Like I want that to stop right at that edge. That's called a stop cut. Alright, so we're going to bring this down a little bit, and we're going to cut this out. Alright, we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to notch the corner out first. Alright. And again, I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and do every side. Kind of match it up straight across. And the same thing in the back here. We're going to maybe bring this down a little bit more. So everything looks nice and even. One. Should go up just a tad. It's very important when you do this is to, you know, continue to, now we're going to go in straight for now, but we're going to go undercut it eventually. We're going to go up this way at an angle. Alright. Alright. And then again we're going to score this, or to put the stop cut in so we know. Try to make it as straight as you can. Some of them have a little bit of a curvature to it, some of them don't, but I went straight across just to give me a better idea. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and slope this hat a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start cutting across here, just like so. And to get that slope of that hat, this portion of the hat, okay? And you really don't have to cut off too much, but you know, you're going to have to take a little bit of it off. And do the back half of the cross portion that you put in for reference, because we're going to just fuss with this a little bit more. I'm going to wet it. What I mean by that is I'm going to use a mixture of rubbing alcohol and water, and we're going to spray it, and we're going to go ahead and soften it up a little bit so it's a little easier to cut. But you want to try to make that as even as you can when you cut it off, and we'll be right back.